from the East Coast, gateway to the fifth dimension. This is Interstellar Radio with Ivan Teller.
Hello everyone, greetings. This is Interstellar Radio. This is October 27th, 2018. So a lot is happening in the world today. There's a lot of energy shifts. And we have Gina on. Greetings, Gina.
Greetings, Ivan.
Hello. Hello again. How are things going?
Very interesting, I must say. Things have been very, very interesting. So it's a good time to be here to share it with everyone.
Yes. So you have any? Anything you'd like to start with, basically?
Well, sure. I will. I would like to start with my most recent message that I received, which was yesterday, and it came in a form that was very, very new to me. Very caught me off guard, and believe it or not, I was sitting in a waiting room yesterday, waiting to speak with someone. It was nothing spectacular. I was alone in this room, and while I was sitting there, there was this door in front of me. It was a door, and in this door, I started to see figures, faces coming through. They were just the different grains of the wood would reveal images to me, and the main focus was really, you could see the outline of a body there, and it just mesmerized me. I didn't have any reaction other than I was just drawn into this. And then the messages were coming, and the message was, don't look at things, look through things for the answer. And it was just right there. These were messages that were coming through to me, and I was getting a bunch of other information at the time. I was in like a zone that was another dimension, I have to tell you. I quickly, when I came back to third dimension, because I had to attend this meeting, so I had to come back. But I quickly took a picture of the door because I wanted to reflect on it. Interesting enough, I could see some parts of what I saw when I was in the waiting room in the picture. Other parts were a little bit skewed, which is normal whenever you're taking pictures of paranormal activity of any kind. You're not going to get it on a regular camera. So, but it was very interesting to me because the connection that we need to, as humans, need to be focusing on now is stop looking at things for what they are, because things are not what they appear to be. We've heard that saying before, but it is more profound now than ever as we are beginning the shift. The messages are there, they're communicating, they're reaching out to us, and we need to look through for the answers. Very interesting.
Yeah, because I did feel funny, because you said you felt one being there, but I felt that there were several beings that were there, and they were playing.
Well, the one
in a good way.
That's right. That's right. It was not threatening. I didn't feel intimidated. I felt definitely. I do have a guide. I have many guides, but one of my guides is an ancient Indian male, and I'm very connected to the American Indian bloodline, and so this guide is with me. That face was there. I've seen the face many, many times, but in that were different faces and actually beings that were not of human race. So there was it was almost it was multidimensional.
Yes, it was.
Like different timelines.
Yeah.
Maybe it was maybe they were showing me in different timelines. I don't know. Maybe they're guides. I don't know. But it was now, as you know, I do readings and channeling, and I do Reiki and Qigong and energy healing. So I'm channeling other guides. That's the kind of channeling I do, and my guides are participating in the clearing of blockages in their chakras and raising vibrations for healing. And so I tap into that on a daily basis. These were different beings. This was not the same group.
That's cool.
So
well, what I
know what
as you're talking, what I feel is like, now we see this dimension as we see it. We need it for our lessons, obviously for our hard lessons, whatever it might be. But now we're as we fade out, we upgrade ourselves, however you want to look at it. So now, I guess we're fading out this dimension slowly to improve it. We're shifting timelines if you wish to. And as you're talking, it's funny, the thing came in through skeptics. A lot of these beings are interested in seeing skeptics change their point of view. It's fascinating for them. Rock hard, third dimension, life and spirits don't exist, and then they start seeing things and feeling things, and then their whole world is turned upside down. It's fascinating.
Yes, and that's right. You are correct. That is correct. I came across a meme, I guess, or it wasn't a meme, but a statement that somebody had posted earlier this week, and it said, "Birds born in a cage think flying is an illness." And that struck a major chord with me, because that is a beautiful expression of what we're trying to say to our fellow humans, to say, listen, it's time to free yourself from that cage or that leash and the restrictions that you have because of the conditioning and what we were born into, and religion and education and family. It's time, because you are so much more than what you think you are. And so it's really important for each individual to do that, because the how do you say, I guess, the reveal is inevitable. It's going to happen. And in order to be able to make the transition, you need to take into consideration, in order to be prepared, you need to elevate yourself. You need to be able to open your mind to receive this changes. There's a lot going on that is and it's more than what you're capable of handling at this level of consciousness.
Yes. Yeah.
So
exactly.
These are very important things that because some people aren't going to make it. They're not going to be able to handle this information at their level of understanding. Yeah. And so there's going to be a lot of that happening. And so I'm here to say, broaden your vision, look through the things that are around you, and understand that there's more to it that meets the eye.
So when you say change, like life is going to get, I think if you had messaged me before, even a couple weeks ago, about things are going to change. You felt like many shifts coming. Like life's going to get a little bit more complicated. At least seem like that on the outside, but not. We're actually, vibrationally, we're actually just shifting, basically. But there's going to be a lot of negativity in certain areas, basically.
It's going to present itself as negativity.
Yeah.
It's going to present itself, but it's not about negativity. It's about getting stronger. Yeah. So, we have these physical challenges or emotional challenges or work challenges, whatever the challenges are that we have, they are only there to make us stronger. and take us to new levels of understanding. So, I'd like to find it here. Let me see if I can find it. So, nothing is good or bad. Mm-hmm. Thinking makes it so, says Eckhart Tolle. So I love that, because what you think is good or you think is bad, it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Only thinking it. So thinking keeps you in third dimensional vibration. Thinking. Yeah. You say, well, we got to think. I mean, we got things to do, and we got to. No, but when we are in the midst of raising our vibration and taking ourselves to a whole nother level of consciousness, we must remove the thinking from our being and separate ourselves from that which is ego. Because I talk about this all the time, but it's critical. And so there's no good or bad. Mm-hmm. Thinking makes it so.
Yeah, that's true. It's you think positive and negative. I guess there's different points of view. I guess that's another way of looking at it. Different aspects of, or negative and positive is two different points of view, basically. So you don't have.
And you have to have that.
Yeah.
That's you're going to have when you're thinking, and and we must think to function, to learn the lessons that we do, and through the processes that we have. Our contract was to come here to do, right? Some of us don't realize that we made that decision long before we came. And you say, well, why would we do such a thing? I don't want to be here. I know the frustration. Trust me. I say, well, I'm done. I don't even know why in the world would I want to come here and do this. This is just ridiculous. It's just too much for me. Why am I here? But then we overcome those challenges and we look back and we have to have gratitude, because what did it do? It raised our vibration. It brought us to a new level of consciousness, and we take that information and we share it with other people who are just going through that.
Well, yeah, good. Well, because the cycle of this reality you might not fit into, but your spiritual reality, as you understand it more, will get stronger and stronger if you want it to. And that's usually where you're many that feel difficulties here. That's really where you're heading. When you're bringing that here for others to connect to also. So. Yes,
and so my spirit are connected on a different level.
Yeah.
We that's how come we can have these conversations and understand what we're talking about, because that is the connection on the spiritual level. Now, when you are having these problems and you are confused as to why things are happening the way they are, we all have our spirit guides. This is the time to tap into that. You can ask the question, and just if you sit in silence, you will get your answer. It is going to be revealed to you. That is how it happens. Don't think about what the answer should be. It's not up to you to have the answer. It's up to you to ask the question. It's not your job to seek the answer. The answer will be revealed to you.
You mentioned Eckhart Tolle. I was listening to him. I don't normally listen to. I was listening to a video or audio, and I felt a lot of Andromedan energies around. What is your experience of Eckhart Tolle, if you don't mind?
Well, I've definitely connect with him as a teacher, and he is definitely on a mission to help people through the process of this evolution. And so there are people that are drawn to him at this time that are on this path, and so they're receiving the information that they need to grow spiritually. But what I believe about him, he is definitely connected to our alien brothers and sisters, bringing in messages, absolutely. He will, in some of his talks, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Okay, good. Yeah. I know. In some of his talks, that was kind of weird. In some of his talks, he does mention them. you know, and
does.
And yes, he does. Absolutely. He absolutely does. And, you know, it's funny because you can sit and listen and to some of his talks, and if you happen to listen to one of the hundreds and hundreds that he says every now and then, he'll mention something about our aliens, or what if he said one of, you know, maybe there are people that believe that our president is controlled by aliens, and then you could hear some of the chuckles in the audience as he does live talks. And I say, well, there's someone that's not really understanding that actually is a reality.
Yeah.
But they're there at that time for these teachings. So my feeling is he is absolutely connected to our alien brothers and sisters that are here, taking and guiding and using us as a way to channel through to people to get these messages out.
Yeah, well, he definitely has a huge audience. He might be one of the biggest spiritual teachers out there, or the biggest.
He's fantastic, and his history is a very inspiring. And anybody out there that is never heard of Eckhart Tolle, I encourage you to give that a chance and listen. This is a man who just has a remarkable message for all of mankind, and it's without judgment, and it's there for you if you wish to receive the information.
Yeah, because it seems like it's channeling message. That's usually... Yes,
he challenges his answers. So he does not go to any of his conferences or retreats. He does a lot of retreats. He doesn't go prepared, you know, so they do a lot of Q&A because that's what he does best. You know, so he just channels the answers. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and his technique is inspiring.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of guides, you know, I want people to be aware that everybody has them. Some of us have maybe more right now at this time because they bring different energies or messages to us. Please, you know, it's really important for you to, you know, be aware and, you know, listen to what these messages are. And I will tell you a very, you know, pretty interesting story as I can share my own personal experiences. That's all I can do, is share what I have, because everybody has different experiences. But I would say it was probably about the May of this year, June of this year, I started crafting more. And, you know, I'm a pretty crafty person, but not in the sense of painting or making jewelry or anything like that. And I do essential oils, and I have like over 50 blends, and you know, that's something that I've been doing for a few years. But I all of a sudden, out of the blue, went to the crafting store, bought jewelry making supplies because I just had to start making jewelry. It was crazy. So it wasn't until and then once I started making it, people wanted me to make it for them. My clients, those earrings are beautiful, those bracelets are beautiful, what are you doing? I said, I don't know. This is just what's coming out of me right now.
That's funny.
And now I'm painting, on making my own jewels. I'm doing wire wrapping. I'm doing crafting. It's just an incredible, incredible journey. And then I sat and thought, I said, I bet you a new guide entered and joined me and is influencing me. So you don't have to be an artist your whole life. You don't have to be born anything. At any given time, these inspirations can hit out of the blue, and you would not even know, why do I feel compelled to do these things? That's your guide taking you on that journey that you need. You need that experience now.
Yeah, a turning point. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To expand yourself and know that you have other talents that it's time to explore them, basically.
And I'm channeling doing this craft. So what's happening is I am my channeling is getting stronger when I when I start doing my crafts. So when I'm working with my clients, I usually start my sessions as I'm a massage therapist, but that technique that I use as for body work turns into a reading, because that's how I initially connect. Everybody has their own way. This is how I connect. By putting my hands on their shoulders or their neck or their head, this is how I begin my readings. Now it's just, I don't need that, you see. So the shift changed for me, where it just comes, and now they just ask me questions. And so my guide that came in, that is helping me develop my creativity beyond what I thought my limitations were. I don't have any limitations. I don't have any restrictions, I went from wire working to painting and claying and this and that. I don't know. I just do it. So don't be afraid. If you feel inspired to take up a new hobby, this is your guide coming in to help you.
Yeah, excellent. That's because many that are learning about all this, they don't know where to start or where to, that some want to channel, but they're still having difficulties with, just kind of just go with the flow, basically.
Well, here's a good thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I get that a lot too. In fact, I have clients right now that are in the beginning stages of their awakening, and they want to channel, and they're impatient. So when you are in this state of impatience, and I want to do this now, why can't I do this? You are keeping yourself stuck in the third dimension of I. And so with that, you will not, it's going to take longer for this to open up and birth within you. So release that and understand that there's something else that must happen before that can happen for you. And we're all channeling, but it's you're not listening. Yeah. So if you feel, oh, well, why can't I channel? I want to do what you're doing. Nobody can do what I'm doing. Nobody can do what you're doing. Everybody does their own individual thing. It's your own thumbprint. Exactly. So be patient with yourself and understand it's not something that you teach somebody, meaning I can teach you what to do to get out of your own way, to allow this to flow through you. So I tell them to take a few steps back and honor the stage in where you are now. This is important. You're not born into this world at 21 years old, ready to drink and drive and go party. No, you have to have the experiences of every year leading up to 21 that prepares you to be able to function at that level. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's it's like, even I've noticed that that those that want to, for example, learn how to channel and they have difficulties doing so, they have talents that they're not really recognizing, that are spiritual talents, that they probably feel, oh, this is no big deal, but they're actually connecting to things that a lot of people don't,
And those are gifts that other people need that they have. So you're depriving others of that gift, because we're here to serve each other as we are one. So we're feeding back into one. So by not acknowledging it, you are correct. You are preventing yourself from really tapping into your true gift. Because I can't tell you what your true gift is. I can help you navigate.
Exactly. Yeah, telling someone what you're good at, you kind of have to discover it, and the guides will help you do that. You can lead you in the right direction, but it's up to you on your own exploring.
That's look at what that perfect example. I have been channeling and doing what I've been doing pretty much my whole life. I won't reveal my age, but it's a long time. Yeah. Well, and then all of a sudden, I'm doing crafting because I allowed that to flow through me and accept it as a message, as a gift from my my guides and that are taking me through this. Why? What is the purpose of me doing this? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't need to know the answer of that.
Exactly. Well, and like I had my, I guess my awakening back in 2011. I really felt the guides. I started to see them, but I didn't really have any assistance on what to do with any of it. So I pretty much shut down because I didn't want anything dark to connect to me. I just didn't know what to do with any of it. So in 2014, my guides started to wake me up. Hey, go connect to a group. Now's the time. So, things take time. So.
Yes, and allow it and honor it. Yeah, critical. Exactly. Honor this because, if you don't, you're missing the whole purpose of what it is that you're here to do, and we need you. We need you to share that with us. So bring us your special gift, and we're not. I can't tell you what your special gift is. You have to feel it. And so I'll say, well, how do I know I'm awakening? If you have to ask me that question, then you're not awakened yet. You see, so you will know. There's no words to express. How do you know this? You just do. You just do.
Yeah.
So, I can't explain it other than if you have to ask the question, then you're not there yet.
Yeah.
You're on your way.
Well, yeah, like with, for example, with channeling, it's like some people will wonder, what am I going to channel? Or, I guess the main message is like, it's connecting to spirit, basically. It's allowing spirit, and this is, the spirit world wants to be recognized worldwide, not just with one person, but with everybody. Some channelers in the past, like Sylvia Brown, for example, from what I've heard, she said she's the only one that can do this, and her son, and only into certain individuals, and so, but that's not the case. So that's what the main.
And sometimes it goes the wrong way because they're off the path of purpose.
Yeah.
So the fame and fortune steps in and takes them away from their true essence of who they are, and distorts it. So I'm not going to say that she didn't have these experiences, but some people are not responsible with it, and so it's very important to take what. If you're looking for guidance and you want to find a teacher, Ivan is a good teacher, and in my area, people come to me and have questions, and I do the best that I can to help them in my area as well, or anywhere. Yeah. But be careful who it is that you're seeking the guidance from. If they're leaning towards more of one thing and just focusing on one direction and not allowing you to have an understanding of different connections. So, for example, I don't talk religion at all in any of my, when I help people, they come to me, they're part of a religion. I say, well, first of all, your spirituality is nothing to do with religion. So if what I'm saying to you is making you uncomfortable, that I'm not talking about a God or the Catholic Church or the Christian religion, listen, I respect it all, but I am not going to address that religion. I'm here to talk to you about spirituality. Well, I had this said to me by somebody who was actually interested in setting up an appointment with me, and I do like consultations. Well, wouldn't my God get mad if I were to, talk about the chakras or this or that? And I said, well, what do you think? I can't answer that question for you, but I want you to understand that one has nothing to do with the other. So God has given you free will, and my interpretation would be that if you're honoring your free will, then why would he be angry at that?
Yeah.
And so, it can get very difficult and challenging, but what? That's what we're here to do, is help you navigate through those challenges, and not here to judge.
Yeah, of course not. Well, I'm kind of off subject. Well, not really, because I had other subjects I want to go into. Like with say I brought up Sylvia Brown. I don't know if you know her that well.
I know of her. Yeah, I knew of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she had some readings at the end that were way off. Like some people asked, "Is this person deceased?" and ended up being still alive. I think she had a couple of those. She kind of like went. I think from what I felt, she just kind of overwent her abilities, or she thought she could do anything, and that wasn't the case.
Well, she stopped honoring her authentic self, and she allowed fame and fortune and the distortion, come in, and the negativity guide her, because it was she was feeding her ego.
Yeah, so fortunate. Jeez.
Yeah, because there's obviously was a gift there that was at the beginning serving people for the higher good. Yeah, but I did not know her personally, so I can't judge. But when somebody starts to give information that's not accurate or negative, then you can really definitely see for yourself that there's influences that are not of the positive nature.
So it's like, because the reason I bring it up, because it's like one that's very talented starts to, you can say, abuse their abilities, you can say. Is that, I don't know if that's an accurate way. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's very common with those that are very, even channelers. I'm not mentioning any names, but there are some that are like, it's all about them. And it might not show that, and showing humbleness, kind of. But in secret, it's like, oh, it's all about me. I can channel all these beings, and and it gets, darkness comes in, you can say.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah, it's just, that's really important for people to understand that. That's a big, so that's the lesson. So some come in very talented, maybe they can channel aliens and talk about technologies and just like very advanced stuff, and then they say, oh, it's all about me, and you go way off track. So it's just...
Yeah. Well, we all have different messages to bring through. We're not able to bring, you and I, as two separate beings, are channeling different people and bringing in different messages. So it's important to understand that the messages that are coming through to different channelers, all of the messages are important, but not one is more important than the other.
Exactly.
So, and be respectful of each other, because I can, I get asked questions about, dream interpretations, or I'll get a message about somebody who had an actual, this happened yesterday actually, ironically enough, the day that, with the door. But I had someone call me up and ask me for guidance because a friend of theirs called concerned that they had been awoken in the middle of the night around 3:00 in the morning, and they had this like a static electricity in their body to shake them, and there was a being standing hovering next to their wife, and this is an elderly couple. So the question was, could you please tell me who was here and what was going on? And so now I'm tapping in and I'm asking questions, and I was able to help a little bit about that. But my point is, this is kind of the work that that I do, but other people, like let's say somebody said, well, I am to address what you're saying about other channelers that say, well, I can channel everybody. Well, to tell you the truth, you can't, but you have a purpose. So if you don't respect that and honor that, then it will be blocked. They will block you. It will happen. I've seen it happen, and it's not always a good outcome.
Interesting. Yeah, makes sense.
So that would be a warning to people who are focusing on ego and not focusing on the true. You're here to serve.
Yes.
We're here to serve each other.
Exactly. Serve
humanity, and when you, that's right. Serve humanity, not self.
Exactly. That's what's the best for everyone, basically, not just a few people for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So just the intention alone is very powerful. And you might not get this. You might get this exciting message of, you know, whatever it might be. You know, you might be accepting just it might be just a message of love, and that right there is pretty. You know, sometimes the most simplest messages is what matters most. So.
And that's right, because we tend to forget those simple things that have a major impact on all of our lives.
Yeah.
You know, the heart chakra is where we all need to be connecting, and that's where it comes from. This is where we live.
Yeah.
And when we separate from that, then we find ourselves in confusion and anxieties and depression. And, you know, we've talked about what that means. And so when we're disconnecting from our heart chakra, then we are connecting from each other. And so that's why it's important to go back to that and know that. And how do we get there? So we get there through gratitude. Mm-hmm. And we get there, and then we get there through honoring what it is that, and being grateful for having the privilege to be able to share messages that you wouldn't have ever thought you could do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, with the subjects of the news recently, do you have any? I don't know if you want to say a few words about what's going on with the packages being delivered to certain, I think it's Democrats. I think it's, I don't even want to go into anything on that.
Mm-hmm. So let me go back to my opening message that the guides told me when they came to me yesterday is things are not what they seem on the surface. Look through things, not at things. Don't listen to what you're being told about a situation. There is more to what meets the eye, and also what a first initial, my first initial response to this whole thing is I'm really having a hard time believing it to be truthful.
Yeah.
And it's part of a bigger picture that there's something going on. And what's going on is it's about putting the battle between the people, and that's the last thing that we need.
Exactly. Divide. Yeah.
The divide is what keeps you in low vibration.
Exactly. And
so as we are going through this awakening as a humans, these are tactics to keep you controlled and be able to herd you in one direction or the other. That's just what I got.
Yeah, it feels like FBI is involved, for obvious reasons, and
they're always involved when it comes to the news. Yeah, they're always involved. They're controlled. That's right.
PSYOP within them. Yeah, it's not all of them, but it is a group that knows exactly.
CNN for sure. I'm going to tell you that is one of them. Well, the Ted Turner back in when that just started happening in 1980s, and that's when they're absolutely 100%. It was said. It was revealed back 30 plus years ago. So without a doubt. That's the role that they play today.
Well, it's modern day Big Brother. It's it's telling us what to think, basically.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
It just has prettier pictures and there's more of them.
What about CNN's pretty obvious what's going on there. What do you think about Fox? Is there more positive energy there, or what do you see from that?
I'm the wrong person to ask about the news and the TV because I don't watch it, and the reason I don't watch it is I have to protect myself from that. So I read about it, I hear about it, people tell me about it, but I don't sit and watch it. So it's all a circus. It's a three-ring circus.
It's basically, just to keep us all in the
distracted, right? But I will tell you that the leadership is very close to telling us things that we need to hear.
Yeah. Well, when you say
and that's the challenge right there. That's the problem. That's why there's so much fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, it's just, it keeps the consciousness, busy, you can say.
Well, you see, it keeps you from awakening.
Yes.
So the purpose of their job is to keep the people from awakening. And the people that are awakened and the people that turn away from this and don't fall into this belief system that they want you to believe, then you are a conspiracy theorist.
Exactly.
So that's the stigma that they put out there. They've been doing it for decades. And so the people that do believe what they see on the TV and what they hear on the TV and are allowing themselves to be herded in one direction or the other are going to, believe them when they call us these things, and we're crazy, or what do the conspiracy theorists? What do you think the conspiracy theorists that they show on the television or they tell you in the news or whatever? I've been told that the person that was responsible for this terrible crime that happened today in Pennsylvania is a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. That's always the target. That's what they always go through. And I'm not saying I'm just like, I can't even believe, I'm like, I can't even think about what happened there because it's overwhelming for me emotionally. That is just such unnecessariness, and it's just that they were casualties of war.
Yeah. Well, the person that, it was a synagogue that was attacked. Yeah. It feels like the person that was, I believe that was the person, wasn't a setup, but that person just had a lot of negativity or a lot of build-up, just couldn't control it anymore. You can say mind control. There's a lot going on with that I don't know because I can't connect to that. It's not. I can't connect to that, but I will tell you, as far as the other things, nothing makes sense, and nothing that they say about the mailings makes sense. Nothing. It's all just kind of a setup. The whole thing is just,
not one thing makes sense whatsoever.
Even if it doesn't, I guess some of the stuff it wasn't even mailed. Apparently, it was dropped off, or I don't know how that. Because it doesn't have. Well, here's a question:
if somebody is going to be sending, I don't know, just a random question. If somebody is sending a bomb in the mail to Obama or to Clinton, everybody knows they don't open their own mail. Yeah. So, what is that? Like, what does that serve a purpose? And so it's about the shock. Yeah. It's about the shock and awe, and look at what we have done, and we have come in and we've swooped in as heroes. These are the words that they like to say, and they praise themselves a lot about being the hero. And what are you a hero of? I don't understand. So, to me, none of what has happened makes sense on any level to me. But it doesn't have to. Everybody can have their own interpretation of it, but nobody should be hurt. Nobody should be threatened. And this is the divide that is what occurs when you fall for the this belief system that they feed you.
I don't know, for people to connect with their abilities, I don't know if it's a good suggestion is to clear out their vibration, to clear out all the negative energy, however you want to look at it, and then just go by your intuition. What are your guides saying about these events or any type of event, and give your interpretation. I don't know if you have
That's right. Yeah. Don't base your opinion on somebody else's.
Exactly.
So that's exactly right. Yeah. So, but then somebody's going to say, well, how do I do that? There are many different techniques, and you have to be able to try them all and see what works best for you. When I feel that I'm overwhelmed, because you get overwhelmed when you do readings, I know you do as well. Anybody who works with energy of other people in abundance, we get a little overwhelmed, and so we have to get rid of that, and we have to be able to understand what is ours and what belongs to us and what doesn't belong to us. And most of what we feel belongs is the residuals of other people. So one of the ways that I do this is through a cleansing. This may sound silly, but these are rituals that work. Just allowing, when I go in the shower, if I have to take 2 showers a day, I will, but I just let the water run on the crown of my chakra, and I just allow it to cleanse. Water is healing. Water heals. Drink it, bathe in it, swim in it. Water is healing. Spring water. I drink a lot of spring water. The minerals from spring water is definitely cleansing. I wear my crystals. Food, high vibrating foods, fruits and vegetables. I stay away from red meat, which is low vibration. And obviously, I'm not going to get into the whole vegan thing, but I personally don't choose to eat red meat a lot, or any kind of meat. I'm not a vegan, but when I do, I get weaker. My vibration goes lower. That's just me. So I do find that I need to be mindful of that. And once I start doing this, then I can go ahead and get into more of a state of being and being quiet, and then the information flows. So those are some things that you can do for yourself externally to allow the internal rhythm to pick up those vibrations.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. That's because anybody can do this. Everybody.
That's why we're here. We're all of the same. We are one.
Yes,
yes. I would love for us all to be able to just do this simultaneously. What an amazing that is where we're going. You see, we're going there.
Exactly.
And I'm just impatient. I would really love it to be now. I know they tried it in the age of Aquarius back in the 70s and back in Woodstock, and they were all really just, trying to express themselves and, share that. My parents come from that generation of hippies and, and love, peace, and all that jazz. But there was still negative going on at that time. There was still negative happening in our world at the time. But they were trying so hard to, and this people still live today, are still on their mission. And it's just we have to be patient with each other. Yes. And we're all on different timelines for this, for the evolving, for our own personal evolution. But the children that are coming in today are very much evolved and awakened. They come in with their third eye wide open, and so they're just higher, higher, evolved beyond where we were 20, 30 years ago. And so these children, this is the whole new way that, and the direction in which we're going, out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah. Well, like with each generation, isn't it? Well, maybe not all, but it's like you look at the past generations, like, man, how did they not see this coming? Whatever it is, and now we're experiencing it. Of course, we're experiencing still a lot of pressure. Go to work, and we think we got it good now. I think we got a ways to go to make it better.
Well, I'm going to say that I believe, because it's been told to me so many times by different spiritual leaders over the years that, and it makes sense to me. It may not to other people, and that's okay too. But when the atomic bomb went off, that's when we as a species put ourselves in a much bigger hole that we need to get out of. So I wasn't, I had no say in that going off. I wasn't a participant in it, but unfortunately I have to live with the choices of others.
Well,
I don't have to. And so my DNA activation occurred years ago, and that's when the switch went off to say, move in this direction.
What would the imagine you understand the time of the atomic bomb. You believe that was, they could have, I mean, I guess that was just a way of speeding things up to end the war. I mean, they could have found another way of stopping it, I guess. That was
a huge mistake, and our alien brothers and sisters are feared for us.
Yeah.
And that's why they still do.
Yeah. So that changed a lot of timelines, maybe even sped up our awakening, you could say.
It affected the timelines of our future beyond us, thousands of years. And so that's a whole nother day.
Yeah.
But it's a whole other conversation.
Maybe think about that. Maybe that'd be an interesting one next time. Sure.
Talking about how it affected and why they're here. Why did they come here? Why did Roswell? Why is this? Why is that? Why do they look different than we do? Why are they, so there's a connection there that I don't know, but I know it's all part of it. So I will tell you that was the trigger based on what others have taught me over the years, and I believe it as so it makes sense to me.
Let's see. I had a question, but all right, I guess it disappeared. So, all right. We're about to wrap up. Any last messages you have for anyone?
I just want everybody to remember my opening words. Very important to make this part of your practice until next time. Is things are not what they seem or what they look like, what they sound like. Look beyond that. Look into yourself and open that heart chakra. Make your own decisions and don't allow others' influences of change your path, because your path is going to be different than the person, than mine or Ivan's or anyone else's. Find out who you are. Once you do, trust that, and your guides, they love you. They're here to help you, and blessings to you as well.
Yes, thank you. All right, thank you. We're going to wrap up. So, all right, thank everyone for tuning in. Next week will be Neutron, I believe. So, all right, have a great night. Stay safe.
Have a great night.
Yeah, all right, blessings.
Blessings.
Okay.